morning, it's Pamela from Yorkshire in the north of England. I'm here to do the reveal for By Hook or By Crook number 4, which is at Gosford Park. Now, I've already done the update in which I revealed who had been the murderer and the method of the murder. Now, I've done, well, I thought I was going a bit off field actually until I got one of the entries, and there's somebody else who's done one that's just like mine for the same reason, which is fab. I did a pheasant. Now, it's not a conventional looking pheasant. I did look for a pattern for one, and then I thought, no, just adapt something you've got, because I didn't really want another big item. That's something I'm going to discuss in my first proper video of the year. But I didn't really want a big item, so I thought, right, I'll just adapt a little pattern that I've already got. Now, this pattern I've had for a while on my tablet. It's a free pattern from, oh, what do they call that one now? Lovely Craft, I think, isn't it? Lovelycraft.com. Something's whistling. I'm sorry if you can hear that, but something's whistling somewhere. I don't think it's in this house, but anyway. So yes, so from lovelycraft.com, and it's just called A Little Bird, and that's the pattern there. If you can see that. Can you see that? Yes, you can see that. Try and get it so it's not, sun's not shining on it. And it's, I'm not going to be able to say this name, so I'm just going to, Olga Roskonashnaya, something like that, Olga. But I will link it anyway, so let's get back to where we were with it. So obviously, to make it a pheasant, I had to make various changes to it. As you can see, it's got sleeping eyes on the little bird, but I've made a few changes. So this is mine. If I can get a good shot. So this is mine. Now, what I did was, obviously the main change is it's got like red eye patches. So I did 2 red eye patches, and I just sewed yellow buttons on for the eye, and then used black yarn to, black thread to stitch them on to try and give the pupil, you know, to define the pupil. I did bigger wings. Not much bigger, but bigger wings. The tail, which had one of these, yeah, that's right, one of these, I did 3. Now, of course, again, this is artistic license, because a pheasant's tail is like long and thin feathers, but I did try to fashion something in that sort of thing, but it was okay until I came to sewing it on, and I didn't like the look of it then. So mine's just got 3 in like complementary colours, but like I say, it's all artistic licence anyway. If this was a true to life pheasant, it'd be a lot bigger. So I did some little V's for the various colours that are in the you know, the feathers. Again, it's artistic licence, but just to give it like that look. The colours are beautiful. Do you know, the one colour that I think is really good for this one is this, it was a Sirdar 100% cotton, but it's a shiny cotton, mercerised. And they were selling some off, and I can't remember the shade name of it, but when I looked on the picture, I thought this was a very good representation, and I like that colour. Obviously the teal is similar to what you get on at the head of a pheasant. Most of the yarns I've used are Drops Muscat, which isn't one of my favourite ones to use for amigurumi. I've mentioned that before. You know, because it splits a lot, but a lot of the shades on this are Drops Muscat, the exception of the Sirdar 100% cottons, which are these 2 shades, and the accent around below the head is actually, I think it's Obby Friends and in cream shade. The beak I redid in a bit more of a pointy beak, but yeah, apart from that, so obviously mine, I know it's an amigurumi, but mine hasn't been shot, which is the main thing I wanted to say, because that is the one thing that unsettles me about this film and any film that they do from that era about shooting parties, because I'm not keen on, you know, well, I'm not keen, I thoroughly disagree with shooting or whatever other method you use animals for fun. I sort of accept some people kill them to eat them, but even then, you know, I don't like to live my life like that. But yeah, I certainly don't agree with shooting parties. And all those poor birds that have been slaughtered for someone's pleasure, I find it quite sickening, really. So yeah, so mine's a tribute to all those beautiful birds that should be out there free, but have been sport for somebody, and it's quite wrong. So that, and I will never change my opinion on that. You can disagree with me till the cows come home, but I will not ever change my opinion on that. But yeah, so my little pheasant, which isn't really looking properly like a pheasant, but is going to pay tribute forever on my shelf to all those little birds that have lost their lives for people's pleasure. So, on to the entries. Now, I have only got 4 entries. I think time of year sort of like did for it, really. Also possibly lack of inspiration of things to do. I'm not worried about it. Like I say, I do this because it's something that I enjoy. I enjoy murder mysteries, and so I obviously I get enjoyment out of doing it, so it doesn't matter to me if you know, like, people don't want to take part. I appreciate anyone who does. Anyway, to the entries, so 4 of them. So firstly, we've got you'll have seen her name many times. She is a good supporter of us all, and it's at Miss A. Pippin, and that's her name. I'm pretty sure it's a name on here anyway on YouTube, and she's done for us, I'm going to put pictures in, she's done for us a pipe which is representing the inspector's pipe, the Atlas Inspector, which is like, of the time, it's sort of like the image he has is what you think of as an inspector, with the mac on and with a pipe. And she's used that was a paid pattern which she got from Etsy. She's also done for us a poison bottle, which was a free pattern. She's used acrylic yarn for both. She included a variegated yarn for the wood part of the pipe, which sort of gives it that sort of natural wooden look. So on to the next one. The next one, again, I'll keep popping pictures in, is from Ellen at Mousy Makes Pod. Or obviously a lot of you, and all of you probably, will be following her on YouTube. A great content creator, and she took inspiration from Ivan Novello's portrayal in the film. Obviously playing the piano in all circumstances, whether, you know, like for jollity or you know, just for to bring some unity when something bad's happened. She's found a pattern from Audrey Lillian, and it's called Perry the Piano. Now, as you'll probably all know, Ellen is in fact herself a piano teacher. Just gonna have to keep having a drink, I'm very dry. And it's called, yeah, so she's, as a piano teacher, she teaches primarily children, I think, and the item she's made, the piano, is now actually a bit of a mascot on top of the piano when she's teaching the children, and it's sort of become a friend to them, you know. I think it's a great teaching aid, actually, you know. It adds another aspect to the lesson, probably, you know, where they can have a little laugh about the piano, because all kids, obviously, they generally like the amigurumis, don't they? So anyway, as a mutual decision, her and the children, he's become known as Plinky the piano, and I think he will be a great addition to her piano forevermore, you know. She's used nearly all Scapia's stonewash, but she did use some Stylecraft Special DK for the keys. She did reinforce the make with a thick card, you know, to give it form, which it looks absolutely fantastic, you know. Well, I'm always amazed by everybody's. I think everybody does a fantastic job. Now, next we've got one from Robert, who did us some clay modelling last time, but this time he's done some origami, which is, I think, one of his favourite crafts. He's on Instagram. His Instagram name should be on the pictures. Now, he used the knife and poison which were used for the murder, as I was saying last time. It looked like it could have been stabbed initially, but then it transpired his body, he was already dead when he was stabbed. He'd already been poisoned. So he's made an origami dagger stroke knife. I think it was an ordinary kitchen knife used in the film. A knife's a knife, you know, and he's done a poison bottle to represent the murder weapons, or possible murder weapons. And then we have an entry from Kerry, who is at kerry.nosebag, who I follow on Instagram, and she's a great creator. She's a champion for the animals like I am. I so respect her for that. And as it turns out, she's done a pheasant in memory of all the slaughtered birds, and we should spare a thought for them. I'm sure most people must disagree with shooting for a sport. They must do, because it's barbaric. Why would you support something like that? So she's done a pheasant in memory of those, and what she's done is she's worked on a sort of collage, and she's used non-wool felt to make this collage of a pheasant. She did intend to do some embroidery on it, but the equipment she got let her down. So I think she's implying she's going to get some more and finish it off at a later date, because she said it will eventually become a Christmas hanging decoration. She's going to put some ribbon on. It's fantastic. Anyway, the colours are perfect. She's done research into what colours you should use. It's a fabulous adaptation. Now, you'll see in the picture that Frosty, her cat, has once again acted as Inspector of Works and Quality Controller. So we have Frosty's approval for this submission, which is quite right. Of course we do. Shirley comes and inspects me when I'm working. Sometimes she'll sit on the chair arm and voice disapproval at what I'm doing, you know, mainly because, you know, put the attention on her, not on what you're crocheting. As cats do, they like to come and sit amongst our work. So that is the 4 entries we've had. I'm really happy with that. Like I say, I think time of year, lack of inspiration, you know, has probably resulted in there being less entries, but they're all fab. I'm sure you'll all agree all 4 entries are worthy submissions. Like I said, I appreciate any effort anybody puts into anything. If you know, whatever craft you choose to submit to this is fantastic. You know, like creating things, I think, is one of the best hobbies we can have, and I don't care what form it comes in. I just think, you know, like you get that little, you know, I did that, you know, and you know, it's amazing. So yeah, I'm sorted with whatever you know, reaction I get, really. And I think it is a good film, despite the shooting. Anyway, so I've got a wheel. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go into it because I've just marked it up on here. It should come up on that page, hopefully. Yeah. No, it hasn't. Let me go in. It might come up with an advert first. Right, so I've got the wheel there. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lift you up, so watch out for the motion sickness. I'm going to it round so you can see the wheel. I'm hopefully not going to shout at you too much. So I don't know if you can see that, but yes, you should be able to see that now. So when I go, sorry, I'm going to be moving you around quite a bit there. So we'll go for the spin. And who's going to come up? It's going to be Robert. Hey, well done. Well done all of you for entering. I'm well impressed. So I'll be in touch with Robert about what he wants for his prize. And I'm going to be back with another one. I'll switch around again so that you're not... We'll probably have a slightly different angle, but never mind. I'll be back in with another... I've thought of what I want to do. It's not going to be a conventional one, but I've been inspired by one of the Christmas things that's been on television. So I'm going to do that, but I may be changing how I do it. I'm contemplating, you know, doing less of them in the year, maybe dropping this Christmas one. I don't know. I'm going to have a think about it, and I'll be in touch with you pretty soon. So, and I've obviously got to do my first proper video of the year. I've not got that ready yet, so it's been a funny old end to the year. I had a migraine on New Year's Eve, which I can only describe as a migraine because of how it, you know, it didn't follow the migraines I used to have to the letter, but I certainly felt where I went really hot and what have you. I think it must have been a migraine. If it was, it's disappointing because it's 17 years since I had one. But on the other hand, do they ever go away? I've had migraines more or less all my life. I had childhood ones. They stopped in 2007 because I think a group of things came together, and whatever aspects were affecting them at that point were got rid of. So like you know, I'd left my career in the civil service, which included being on computers a lot, the lighting, the stress of the job, all that. I got rid of certain members of my family. There's lots of things, I can't think of everything just now, but on the spot, but they'd gone, and I'd finished in the March in the civil service, and then I had this in the summer, this migraine, and that was the last proper one I've ever had. So hopefully this isn't a trend that's coming back. I hope it's just a one that's just appeared out of nowhere and goes again just as quickly. But I've been so washed out yesterday and today, and it's because I had the migraine. So yeah, anyway, that's an aside. You probably don't want to know, but I will be back with another of these. I'll be back with my normal makes, and take care of yourselves. I'll see you there. Hi, it's me again. I've just checked my video and I just thought I'd come back on. I've decided that I'm going to drop the prize element of my BioCore by Crook. Most people have always said they don't enter for that anyway. They just want to, you know, like they want to watch the film or whatever I do or read the book and then submit an entry. They're not really interested in the prize. So I'm dropping it because it's a bit of extra admin you have to do, and you know, we want a simple life, don't we? So I'm sorry if it does upset anybody that I'm dropping it, but what I've decided to do is before I put this video out, I'm going to give all 4 entrants a prize for joining in this last one with the other prize attached to it. I'll be back with a new format after that. Anyway, all 4 of you, I hope you find something you'd like to buy with it, and I will see you later.